The silver screen presents us with a glass cage from which to see a created world. Everything within is fabricated, but we suspend disbelief to be entertained. Detached, we are safe from these fictionalized events. Yet, there are movies which are claimed to have transcended their sets in order to afflict their creators. Everyone from actors, producers, writers, special effects designers, and their acquaintances. Some films are even said to be so cursed that they never made it to the screen. With that in mind, here are 5 of the most cursed movies of all time. The classic American movie Rebel Without a Cause was released in 1955. Centering on the antics of emotionally confused middle-class suburban teenagers, it has been heralded as one of the greatest films of all time. However, some claim that the movie's legacy is not just cultural, but deadly too. Many of the film's actors went on to die before the age of 45, under mysterious circumstances. James Dean, the lead actor and cultural icon, met his end only a month before the film's release. On the 30th of September 1955, the 24-year-old was driving his newly purchased Porsche 550 Spider. The car crashed head-on with another vehicle, and Dean sustained numerous fatal injuries. Despite there being others involved in the collision, Dean was the only one to perish. The driver of the other car walked away unharmed, save for a minor scratch on his nose. That, combined with the fact that Dean was an experienced race car driver, led some to wonder how his accident could have happened. Very soon after the incident, rumours of a curse began to circulate. Another to pass away before his time was Nick Adams, a personal friend of Dean and an actor in the film. In 1968, at the age of 36, he was found slumped against a wall in his Beverly Hills home. The details were unclear. The most prevalent explanation was that of a fatal combination of drugs. Others, however, have suggested Adams' end was more sinister, speculating that a crime may have been committed. The sinister circumstances surrounding the next to perish were not debatable. Sal Mineo, who starred as Plato in Rebel Without a Cause, had his life stolen aged 37 when an assailant attacked him in 1976. The attacker was found and sentenced, his motive for the attack unclear. In 1981, Natalie Wood, Dean's love interest in the film, drowned off Catalina Island, California. Many of the circumstances of the case were mysterious, with an autopsy revealing several inexplicable injuries. A series of tragic deaths that many saw as somehow being connected to the 1955 movie. When the film premiered a month after James Dean's passing, it had an enigmatic aura and quickly became a classic. In the years afterwards, everything Dean had owned or touched seemed to become imbued with magic, as though they were sacred relics. Even the car he crashed in became legendary, with many believing it to be cursed, independent of, or even perhaps because of, its connection to the movie via Dean. Fires, crashes, and mysterious injuries became synonymous with Dean's Porsche. For all of this, there are those who dismiss these tragedies as coincidence. After all, some of the film's other actors lived well past 45, including Dennis Hopper and Corey Allen. Yet, one can never be certain of coincidence being meaningless. It may be that there was something about this seemingly innocuous film that cursed its protagonists to die before their time. The Poltergeist film franchise's curse is alleged to have claimed 4 lives. The original 1982 movie follows the Freeling family and their daughter Carol, who move into a new house which is infested by spirits. What follows is a struggle to save Carol from evil entities attempting to abduct her and take her to their dimension. It is said that the curse can be traced back to production, with strange things allegedly occurring on set. In one scene, a mechanism on a toy clown was supposed to wrap its arms loosely around a young actor, giving the appearance of strangulation. Terrifyingly, something happened which caused the toy to start actually strangling the boy actor. What happened on set, however, was nothing compared to the horrors that happened off it. Dominique Dunne, the actor who played Carol's elder sister in the film, passed away shortly after Poltergeist was released, after her boyfriend attacked her. Julian Beck, who played a cult leader in the sequel, lost his battle with stomach cancer in 1985 and was unable to see the film released. Then there was the tragic end of Will Sampson in 1987, who played the friendly character of Taylor in Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. However, the most tragic end of all attributed to the curse is that of the child actor Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol. She did not live to see the third film completed, passing away of an undiagnosed illness at the tender age of 12. Director Gary Sherman has stated that he and the crew felt such a tragic burden after Heather's passing that they had wanted to stop production of the third Poltergeist film. He was, however, forced to finish production and make a new ending without her, which even he described as stupid. To those who believe that the Poltergeist movies were cursed, the botched ending to the franchise can be seen as its ultimate triumph. On the other side, many simply see misfortune at the centre of these tragic events. Will Sampson had been suffering from a chronic degenerative disease for a while, and Beck had been battling against cancer for a couple of years. Heather's passing can likewise be attributed to plain earthly tragedy, the mistakes of doctors, which predated the franchise. Yet, there are still many who see the timings of these tragedies as being linked to the film. One popular theory surrounding this is the belief that real skeletons were used as props at the end of the first Poltergeist movie, and that such unholy desecration brought a curse upon the franchise. Indeed, in an interview in 2008, Jo Beth Williams, who played Diane Freeling in the film, stated that she had assumed the skeletons she would be interacting with were made out of plastic or rubber. Too late, she found that they were real skeletons that the production had acquired because it was too expensive to make fake ones. Bruce Casson, the film's assistant prop master, corroborated Williams by stating that the skeletons came from Carolina Biological and at the time were mainly used by medical students. With this in mind, it could be said that short-term financial solutions cost the crew far more than money in the long term. In 2013, a silent film called Return to Babylon was released. It showcased many of the scandals and tragedies that occurred during Hollywood's early years. According to filmmaker Alex Monty Kanawati, it all started with an incredible coincidence. As Kanawati was talking with his producer about making a silent film, they found a bag of black and white factory-sealed film on Hollywood Boulevard. They decided to use this stock of film and began to experience paranormal phenomena. Jennifer Tilly, one of the leading actors, reported feeling the presence of ghosts, claiming that they were touching her. Strange images were also claimed to have been captured by the still photographer on set. Not only that, the strange happenings that occurred on set refused to stay on set and transferred into the film itself. It is said that bizarre images can be seen in the movie, with actors' faces mysteriously morphing. Kanawati is said to have commented that morphing does not happen spontaneously, emphasizing that he did not add any special effects to the film. It is claimed that the movie has been studied by countless psychics and mediums, who have concluded that it is haunted by a number of spirits and ghosts, including some of the great actors of early Hollywood, such as Lon Chaney. For all of this, many have criticized these paranormal allegations as merely being a marketing ploy. The filmmaker, however, has stood by his claims, stating that the proof lies in the film itself, for the morphing and other bizarre images are on the original negative. Even so, he dismisses the suggestion that the fortuitous finding of the film reels was paranormal and may have instigated the so-called curse. According to his testimony, they were found by a parking meter, someone having simply forgot the film as they were packing or unpacking their production equipment. The film has since been studied by the Brooks Institute of Photography, their results being inconclusive. No explanation for the mysterious images could be ascertained. It is easy to dismiss these claims as the fabrication of a desperate filmmaker, financial incentive being an obvious reason for hoax. The finding of the reels on the pavement make these claims seem all the more incredulous. However, just because something sounds too extraordinary to be true does not mean it isn't. It may be that the filmmaker's attempt to bring the dead's dirty laundry to light in his film attracted their spirit's attention and cursed the very reels of their undoing. The Omen is a classic horror movie that has more than its fair share of real-life terror attached to it. The film is about a boy called Damien, who, after a series of mysterious happenings and violent events, is revealed to be the Antichrist. Robert Munger, the film's religious advisor and the man who had the idea for The Omen, is reported as having said, "If the devil's greatest single weapon is to be invisible, and you're going to do something which is going to take away his invisibility to millions of people, he's not going to want that to happen." And certainly, if reports are to be believed, it seems as though the devil did not want the movie to happen. Knowing that only bad might come from the film, Munger pursued the idea with missionary zeal, wanting people to know what the Bible said about the Antichrist. As early as October 1975, at the start of filming, the devil showed his displeasure. When the lead actor, Gregory Peck, was on his way to the UK to begin filming, his plane was struck by lightning and was very nearly sent to the bottom of the ocean, one of the plane's engines having caught fire. Weeks later, the producer was flying across the Atlantic when his plane was similarly struck. And as if lightning striking twice wasn't enough for Lucifer, the screenwriter's plane was also hit by a bolt on a separate occasion, and the producer was nearly struck by lightning whilst filming in Rome. Lightning was not the only weapon employed by the curse. Incendiaries, it is claimed, were also used. The Hilton Hotel in London, where some of the crew were staying, was blown up, as was the restaurant where they planned to eat. The near misses did not end there. A small jet that was hired by the production company was changed last minute to accommodate a Chinese trade delegation. The plane experienced a bird strike and crashed into the car that held the family of the pilot. 6 lives were lost that day. Of course, one could see the inverse of these near misses. Rather than being cursed, the film's production team experienced an extraordinary degree of good luck. Not everyone, however, can be said to have been so lucky. During filming at Windsor Safari Park, the car the actors were in did actually stall, and were indeed attacked by primates at the park. This terrifying and real scene is the one shown in the film. In addition to this, after filming finished at the park, one of the animal handlers that worked there was fatally attacked by a resident big cat. Then there was the horrific event that happened to the special effects designer John Richardson. He is said to have designed the scene in the film where one of the characters was decapitated. Reality imitated fiction during a car accident in the Netherlands. Richardson walked away, but his passenger did not, having met a similarly gruesome end to the one depicted in the film. Not only did this happen in the same year that The Omen was released, it supposedly occurred near a road sign that pointed to the city of Omen. Such a happening seems too chilling to be coincidental. Indeed, it is astonishing to see a film surrounded by so many tragedies. Some, like Hector Avalos, a professor of religious studies, has stated that the film was trying to make the devil visible, and so that's why Satan was trying to stop the film from being made. Sometimes a film is thought to be so cursed that it does not even make it to theatres. Atuk is said to be one such movie. The film's premise was supposed to be that of an Alaskan Inuit who moves to New York City and quickly becomes corrupted. It is based on a 1963 satirical novel called The Incomparable Atuk. The story seems innocent enough, being planned to be a comedy and far removed from anything supernatural. Yet, it is thought that the movie became precisely that, a supernatural thing in its own right, with a curse attached to it so strongly that it prevented anyone from completing it. The first actor approached for the lead role was John Belushi. Whether he signed on to the role is unclear, but he was seriously interested in the film. On the 5th of March 1982, only a short time after being approached, he perished after being given a toxic cocktail of drugs. Sam Kinison was the next actor chosen to play the lead. Production began in 1988. However, only 8 days of filming were managed before Kinison left the set, frustrated and requesting rewrites. A lawsuit followed, and it wasn't until 1992 that the film was ready to be produced. That year, on the 10th of April, a 38-year-old Kinison met his end in a car accident with a drunk driver. Refusing to give up, the team behind Atuk decided to cast John Candy in 1994. In March that same year, he perished of a heart attack. 3 years later, in 1997, Atuk surfaced once again, with the lead being offered to Chris Farley. On the 18th of December of that year, Farley passed away, much in the same way as John Belushi. Before Farley passed, the script was shown to Phil Hartman, who also seriously considered a role in the film. 5 months after Farley's demise, Hartman too lost his life. Since then, Atuk has been put to one side, but not forgotten, with other comedic actors such as Will Ferrell and Jack Black being interested in the movie. However, no one has made any further commitments towards its production. There are just too many lives staining the pages of the script. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like more of the paranormal, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you also to our members both here on YouTube and on Patreon for all the support you show our work. It is much appreciated. If you would like to become a member and access commercial-free content, including our 2-hour documentary In Search of the Dead, you can do so by clicking the join button or by visiting Patreon. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.